Hello dear students, today we can discuss a new topic, the sword of Tipu Sultan and Wootz steel. In the previous session we discussed the decline of cotton weavers in India. Cotton mills come up, that portion we completed, and here also we are going to discuss about what happened to the Indian iron smelters. That we are going to study by telling the famous story of Tipu Sultan who ruled Mysore till 1799. So we are going to study the story of Indian steel and iron metallurgy through whose story? Tipu Sultan's story. Recounting the famous story of Tipu Sultan means telling the famous story of Tipu Sultan who ruled Mysore till 1799, fought 4 wars with the British and died fighting with his sword in his hand. In the previous chapter we discussed these 4 wars of Mysore. The Tipu's legendary swords are now part of valuable collections in museums in England. That means that much importance for his sword, and it become a legendary or it become an important collections in the museums in England. Do you know why the sword was so special? Why his sword was so special? The reason, the sword had an incredibly hard, that means that much incredibly hard means unbelievable, hard and sharp edge that could easily rip through, means easily tear the opponent's or enemy's armor. It means enemies that protection, that area that was easily tear by this sharp edged sword. And this quality of sword, so what was the importance of Tipu's sword? It had an incredibly hard and sharp edge that could easily rip through the opponent's armor. Opponent's armor means the enemy's armor. Armor means a metal cover used by the enemy to protect his body. That easily this sword rip or tear the opponent's armor. This quality of the sword came from a special type of high carbon steel called Wootz, which was produced all over South India. And how this quality developed? Through a special type of high carbon steel called Wootz, which was produced all over South India. Wootz steel, when made into swords, produced a very sharp edge with a flowing water pattern. So at that time, they used this Wootz steel for producing swords and to provide a very sharp edge with a flowing water pattern. This pattern came from very small carbon crystals embedded in the iron, included in the iron. So here, now you understand why the sword was special. Why this Tipu sword was special? Because it had an incredibly hard and sharp edge that could easily rip through the opponent's armor. So you have to underline this area. Then we can discuss how this Wootz steel developed. We can discuss here. Francis Buchanan, who toured through Mysore in 1800, a year after Tipu Sultan's death, has left as an account of the technique by which Wootz steel was produced in many hundreds of smelting furnaces in Mysore. So from the story of, or from the account of Francis Buchanan, we can discuss the development of the Wootz steel. And he gave us an account of the technique by which the Wootz steel was produced in many hundreds of the smelting furnaces in Mysore. In these furnaces, iron was mixed with charcoal and put inside small clay pots. Through a variety or to an intricate control of temperatures, the smelters produced ingots that were used for sword making, not just in India but in West and Central Asia too. So here, Wootz steel, how they prepared this Wootz steel? First what they do? In this melting furnaces, iron was mixed with charcoal and put inside some clay pots. through an intricate control of temperatures. The smelters produced steel ingots that were used for sword making, not just India but in West and Central Asia also. And Wootz, it is an anglicized version and anglicized an English word of the Kannada word ukku, Telugu hukku, and Tamil and Malayalam steel known as what? Urukku. Nowadays also we are using, instead of steel we are using in Malayalam steel is urukku. So this wood steel, it is an anglicized version of urukku or urukku. So here the Kannada word ukku, then Telugu word hukku, and Tamil and Malayalam word of steel is known as urukku. Indian wood steel fascinated European scientists. I mean, Indian wood steel attracted European scientists. Michael Faraday, the legendary scientist and discoverer of electricity and electromagnetism, he spent 4 years studying the properties of Indian woods. So, here we are discussing the importance of Indian wood steel. The European scientists, they attracted this wood steel and he spent 4 years for what? To study about the properties of Indian woods or Indian wood steel. However, the wood steel making process, which was so widely known in South India, it was completely lost by the mid-19th century. South India was famous for the production of wood steel, but later what happened? By the mid-19th century, it was declined. Can you guess why this happened? The swords and armor making industry died with the conquest of India by the British, and imports of iron and steel from England displaced the iron and steel produced by craftspeople in India. So here, that after the Plassey War, the British, they politically dominated us. And later we discuss about once Indian cotton textiles were dominated in the international market. And later, by the coming up of cotton textile industries and the British machine-made produce that flooded the Indian market, negatively affected the Indian weavers, and the demand of Indian cotton textiles reduced in the international market. Same time, the weavers also lost their local market. Similarly, once here the wood steel of southern India that was famous in India, and also European scientists also attracted it. But later the coming up of British industry, British iron and steel industry, and its import to India negatively affected the Indian iron and steel smelters. So what happened here? The iron and steel from England displaced the iron and steel produced by craftspeople in India. So because of the interference of British iron and steel industry, the Indian craftspeople, especially those who are depending iron and steel work, they also lost their livelihood. So more than this we can discuss in the next area. So today what we discussed, the sword of Tipu and the Wootz steel. So what we discussed today, why the sword of Tipu Sultan was so special. You know that it was so special because it had an incredibly hard and sharp edge that could easily rip through the opponent's armor. Armors meaning, I already told you, a covering, metal covering used to protect the body by a soldier or a warrior. And this quality of the sword came from a special type of high carbon steel called Wootz. It was produced all over South India. And wood steel, when made into swords, produced very sharp edge with a flowing water pattern. And this pattern came from very small carbon crystals embedded in the iron. And we also know that what is smelting. It is a process of obtaining a metal from ore by heating it to a very high temperature, or of melting objects to use the metal to make new things. And the technique of making wood steel, as told by Francis Buchan, also we discussed. And Next, because it happened a year after the Tipu Sultan's death, he gave an account of the technique by which wood steel was produced in many hundreds of smelting furnaces in Mysore, and how the Wootz steel or Wootz, it a name developed also we discuss. It is an anglicized version of the Kannada word ukku, Telugu hukku, and Tamil and Malayalam urukku, which mean steel. And there today we concluding that the swords and armors making industry died or declined with the conquest of India by the British and imports of iron and steel from England that displaced the iron and steel produced by craftspeople in India. So here we are concluding. Thank you. Have a nice day.